All eyes are on what will come after the yearly close for Bitcoin. Hey guys, it's Keith Allen. Yeah, end of the year, right? How about a year-end wrap-up? Or at least one last analysis before we get into 2025. Hope you guys had a fantastic year. Hope it's been profitable for you. And I definitely just want to take, before we start, just take a minute to say thank you guys for the ongoing support. Greatly and sincerely appreciated. I really can't thank you guys enough for the support that you guys have shown me, helping me grow, and hopefully we're all learning and growing and profiting together. And I hope that you have a fantastic, joy-filled, healthy year. You make some good decisions, make some profitable trades. Actually, hoping that this is your most profitable year of trading yet, and maybe together we can do that if we make more informed decisions, right? So let's climb in. Take a look at some charts. In this analysis, I'm really going to focus more on higher time frames so that we can really get a sense of what might be developing here as we move forward here. Obviously, yesterday things were dipping. We had a bounce from what I felt was a predictable spot. So let's climb into the charts and we'll take a look at that and see where maybe potentially we're going from here. Let's go ahead and share the screen. We'll start with a candle chart opening up here on my halving chart, just to give you some perspective. This is going to be about perspectives today as well, right? Look at where we are here in the halving. We're looking at the monthly chart here at the moment. And since I have this zoomed out shot, we look at where we sit in the grand scheme of things, right? It's a 4-year cycle, and we're very early in this cycle. In fact, if I go out even further, you can see the next halving sometime in March of 2028. We've got a long way to go, and I think that we have more room for more upside. Now, in terms of what's happening in the short term, yesterday we saw this bounce happen right from, like I said, what I felt was a predictable place. I've had this channel marked. We were looking for a consolidation zone. We've had a brief period of consolidation there back in mid-November. And this has served as really an RS flip zone ever since then. We wicked slightly below it yesterday, and hey, lines are a bit subjective. So this is what it is, right? We bounced from here. Lines that are maybe a little less, how should I say, artistic in manner. If you haven't seen this yet, this is a chart I've been drawing. I mentioned yesterday, my partner Fred Schneider came up with this method of drawing. And this is the ETH chart. Let me move to the Bitcoin chart, and I'll show you what something that is. We always try and look at the positives and the negatives, the strengths and the weaknesses. So here's something that I want to share with you, just in terms of getting a bigger perspective, a greater perspective and some insight. Okay. So I showed you, we bounced from this area, which makes sense, right? That's straightforward technical analysis. And we did get that bounce from there. Now, this chart is drawn using annual trends. Okay. It started with the 2023 open to 2024 open. And then I just duplicated that line and did it on that trend line and pasted it to all the quarterly opens and closes. This orange one is the yearly trend. This green one is our macro trend, which is illustrated, down here. And then all these other lines are the quarterly trends. And you can see we're kind of hovering in a bit of a no man's land here in terms of those quarterly opens and closes. So maybe we go back and we reclaim this back above 100K, or maybe we fade back further. 86K was a target that a lot of people were expecting to happen yesterday. Just because it didn't happen yesterday doesn't mean it can't happen again. Doesn't mean it can't happen tomorrow or next week or next month, right? So I think it's pretty safe to say that Bitcoin is going to have an annual close, a nice green close, right? No doubt about that, right? The question is what's going to happen afterwards, right? Where do we go from here? Do we just continue to rally north? Do we pull back? Do we consolidate? What's going to happen here? So that's really what I'm going to be focused on in this analysis. And so for that, let's go to my trend precognition chart here. For anybody that's new to trend precognition, and by the way, live comments are open on YouTube if you're watching and you want to chime in. I always appreciate the insight, the comments, the questions, whatever. Bring it. Happy to engage with you guys. So, looking at well, we'll start here on the daily, right? So we had this signal here. We bounced from that 2021. Excuse me. We bounced from this consolidation range, and we have a long signal from trend precognition here. There's no guarantee that this pushes up above these key moving averages. In fact, we're already seeing a rejection on the daily on the 50-day moving average at the moment, right? So price is settling back down. I do think that we're going to stay above this. Obviously this signal could invalidate here before the end of the day, but we do have a decent amount of bid liquidity here in range that could hold us up. So, and pardon me, my family's calling. This isn't going to be a very long analysis. I'm afraid I'm going to have to burn through this pretty quick. But so I do think that we're more than likely going to stay above this 91K level here, at least for the day. What happens after that? So it is really what I'm looking at. And so if we go into, oh my God, they're killing me. If we go into, hang on one second. Let me just go with a quick message. All right. If we look at what's going to happen after this, right? So one of my first things that I key in on is I look at, because I have a lot of confidence in this trend precognition indicator, I'm going to look at what's going to happen next. Now, this signal on the daily chart isn't necessarily saying that price is going to shoot back up, but it is suggesting or indicating that price is not likely to go below yesterday's low. Now, this signal did not come in early, and those are typically our best signals, are the ones that come in right at the open close. This one did not do that. So that doesn't mean it can't print, but it means it's a little easier to invalidate. And we've seen, plenty of rug pulls yesterday and through the week. I should say not yesterday, but earlier in the week that could could facilitate an invalidation here, right? So now we look to the weekly, right? Where are we going on the weekly? Could we get a new signal here? Potentially we could. I look to this A1 algo down here, and I'm looking at this A1 slope line specifically, which is on a trajectory, an upward trajectory, right? When it crosses this blue center line, the dashed blue center line, is when it sends new signals. So are we going to continue upward, or is this going to level out? Is it going to revert? What's going to happen? So this is what I'll be watching very, very closely across all time frames here at the close tonight. So on the monthly, for example, we're already up, right? So it's not going to send a new signal on the monthly, but we could see an extension. We could see a change in momentum, right? We could see this tick up. We could see it tick down. We could see it go flat. That's what I'll be watching on the monthly. 3 month. All right. 3 month is in a position where it could potentially tick up and fire a signal. 6 month. Not a lot of history here, but well above. It could tick down, right? So I think in terms of expectations, the market is, most of the market, at least those that think that we're still in bull market territory, that think that the bull market is still alive, and I'm in that camp. Most seem to think that we could see the cycle top Q1, Q2, some point in 2025. So that would be that 6 month. That would be that 6 month view, right? So we'll also, of course, be looking for, signals from the A2 algo, the A2 plus algo, which could give us an arrow. So even though this A1 algo was way out of range to fire a signal, the A2 plus could fire a signal. So we'll be watching for that as well. There have been rare occasions where we've seen them on the annual, and not all coins have enough history to do this. We obviously had a strong signal last year at the open, and this is obviously validated. Could we see a back-to-back signal? Yes. Could we see a reversion? Yes. Those are all scenarios that we'll be watching for at the close tonight. Now, let's say, for example, that Bitcoin continues to struggle. Excuse me, that's not what I wanted to push. Let's say that Bitcoin does not clear these key moving averages, right? Could get above the 50 and get rejected from the 21. This is what matters, obviously, right? So if this doesn't happen, what's likely scenario? A likely scenario would be that price consolidates for a bit longer, or continues to grind down further. We still have not seen that big correction that we've been expecting. We haven't seen that 20 to 50, 60% correction that we've been expecting, like we have seen in each of the cycles before. So, even when we're bullish, we can see that. So far, we've come close. What have we got? 15% from the all-time high? Let's see. Let's measure where we're at right now. Yesterday, we dipped down, 15% from the all-time high. That's not quite enough. Taking it to 20%, that would probably satisfy a lot of technicians. That gets us to 86K. Going 25% gets us down to the 100-day moving average. Then we have the 76K level. That's a 30% move. All of this would be, in my opinion, is well within the realm of possibilities, even going lower to the 200-day moving average, which sits above that 2021 top. What I don't really want to see happen is losing this 2021 top. I don't think that's especially great. Of course, a black swan could take us there all the way to the trend line here. If we break through this trend line, then in my opinion, right, it's done. So as much as this would be within the realm of possibilities, that's roughly a 48% move. Certainly that is in the realm of possibilities, and certainly that trend line would be a fantastic position for what I consider to be, foundational strength, right? If you bounce off this structure, we really have the potential to make a really nice recovery. You're 100% back to the all-time high almost. And then let's say we make it up to the even to the cup and handle target that I've had. That's another 118% move. So that is all within the realm of possibilities. If you have no idea what the cup and handle pattern is that I'm referring to, this is a long-term pattern that took a long time to develop. The measured move from here takes us up to about 122.5K. I think that's still a possible target. Now, we did have a rejection here from this 1.618, which is what we're dealing with at the moment. This doesn't have to go higher, but it could. And of course, then we get into the potential of running into our lifetime channel here. Let me zoom out a bit and make that easier to see. We run that into our lifetime channel. We could bounce off of this and continue to grind without ever penetrating back into this channel. Or if we get back into this channel, that's when Bitcoin really has a chance to soar. That's where real price discovery exists, in my opinion. And until that happens, this remains the glass ceiling on price discovery. Let's take a quick look at ETH. Haven't looked at it in a few days, to be honest with you. Kind of in a similar situation, right? Not loving this trajectory here, right? We're looking at a death cross developing between the 21-day and 50-day moving average. Bitcoin has the same thing happening. That is not a positive. Let's just call it what it is. That's not a positive. On the weekly, however, we do have a chance. These have not unwound yet. So on the weekly, we're still on a decent trajectory here. And ETH is still well above trend, well above the 0.618 fib, and well below its all-time high. So there's certainly opportunity for upside with ETH. It's been a real struggle for ETH lately. And just like Bitcoin and every other asset, we'll be looking for new trend precognition signals across time frames, including our monthly, our quarterly, our 6-month, right? Same set of circumstances. So this is a pretty anemic doji candle right here. And if it closes this way, well, doji number one suggests some indecisiveness. A doji hammer, and we'd have to get up a bit higher, I think, for this to really qualify as a hammer. A doji hammer would suggest maybe a trend reversal. So we'll see how we close here when it's all said and done. There is room for that to develop. Now, in the instance that we are seeing Bitcoin, fail to make these fail to clear these moving averages and make new all-time highs in the near future, anyways, then I'm going to be looking to alts, right? And so let's go back and see where we might find some areas of strength. That's not what I want to be at. This is got a lot going on here, guys. Here we go. Let's put Doge up on this chart. Doge. All right. What I do like about Doge is that it is still holding above the 382 Fibonacci retracement. I do like that, Mr. Musk is, playing crypto games again. And although not on Doge at the moment, but he is, got a new government advisory role with the department he named Doge. So, for me, this isn't a coin that I have a lot of faith in, but it is one I'm willing to take a flyer on just because of that. And because of the strength that we're seeing, it's still holding at the moment. So, couple of other coins we can look at. Obviously, Solana is a popular one. And guys, I haven't looked at this in a little while, so we're gonna dive into this live in the fire. That's on already. Okay, no signals on that time frame, just because there's not a lot of history there. Let's see what we get on the monthly. Trend precognition really requires history for it to work. So on coins that aren't as old, you don't get to go as deep with them. As high on timeframes with them. I had a target up here at the 1.618, and we obviously have not hit that yet. But this is a coin that obviously a lot of people have interest in. It's poised at the moment, right? We'll be watching this A1 algo here, right? On the monthly after the close tonight. Is this going to continue on this trajectory downward, or are we going to see a reversion? And this will give us, this should lend some insight, either if it contradicts with what Bitcoin is doing, what the alts are going to do, or if it mimics what Bitcoin is doing, then it will be kind of one of those situations where one tide raises or lowers all boats. What's another one? Let's look at Litecoin, which, Litecoin gets a bad rap, but I'm a fan. Sorry. I have a Litecoin chart open up here. I'll look at it here. That's fine. Litecoin, obviously, on a great trajectory at the moment. Again, we'll look and see. Not enough history there to get that higher time frame. At least not with the A1 algo. Let's see what the A2 plus is bringing us. Look at this skinny anemic candle. I mean, this is sad. It's sad, and it's below the 50 month moving average. Excuse me. So that would be a huge milestone, right? This is where the rejection came from. And so if Litecoin can start moving above this, reclaim this level, that would be tremendous. I think this is a coin that has a lot of upside potential, and a lot of history, and a lot of actual real world use cases. So something I'm watching closely here as well is Litecoin, and the line for Litecoin appears to be the 50-month moving average. That's at around 104 bucks. What does that look like on weekly, by the way? 200-week moving average. No surprise there, right? So we need to see Litecoin flip these zones, and really, the moving averages have not unwound yet for Litecoin. So lots of potential here, and this is really the gate. Locally, it's the 200-week moving average, but really, this seems to be the real gate here. The 50-month moving average at $104.46 at the moment. Definitely one to watch. Definitely one to watch. And with that, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it here. I got a lot going on here today, but I'm certainly, again, grateful for your guys' support, and hope that you have a fantastic, safe, happy, healthy, joy-filled 2025, and that we are printing some serious green P&L all through the year. Happy New Year, guys. Stay safe. Here's to trading smarter.